Hello, welcome to my channel today. This is a King Tutor. It's the first time of joining us. Thank you for clicking to this. Ensure you like, comment, share, and subscribe to this channel. Okay, now I want to continue on our series also. Today, we want to see the cash book. Yes, the cash book. Now, what is a cash book? A cash book is that book that is used in recording all cash transactions, either received or paid. A cash book is the book used in recording all cash transaction, either received or paid. It means that it is a book that records everything that involves in an organization that goes that is made by what? Cash. Okay, that is made by cash. Either it is received or paid. Okay, so no transaction that involve cash should be recorded outside the cash book. Okay, so a cash book is the book that records every transaction that involves what? The cash. It records a cash received in terms of sales and also records cash payment. Okay, so the cash book is a book that records every transaction that involves cash. So every transaction that involves cash must pass through the cash book. That's the first thing you should know. Okay, every transaction that involves cash must pass through the cash book. Okay. Now, the cash book, like we've seen in the previous video in the books of account, the cash book is also is a subsidiary book, and also the principal book. Now, it is only the cash book that have both functions and quality. That is also a subsidiary book and also the principal book. Okay. Now, also the subsidiary book are books that are used in recording a first transaction on a temporary basis before it is posted on a permanent basis to that ledgers. Okay, now if you have not seen a video on that, please I'll drop it here or in my description so you watch a full video on that. Okay, so the cash book, like we said, is that book that is used in recording transactions that involve cash. So any transaction that is done that do not involve cash do not come to the cash book. Any transaction that involves credit or that was done on credit, either sales on credit or purchases made on credit or some goods bought on credit, it will not come to the cash book. Okay, so we have basically we have four aspects of this cash book. We have four aspects of this cash book. Now we have the first one, which is the single column cash book, or what we call one column. In some text, you see one column cash book. Now we also have what we call the double column cash book, or what we call two column. We have what we call the three column cash book, and we have the petty cash book. Okay, now these are the four aspects of the cash book we're going to look at our series: the single column cash book, the double column cash book, the three column cash book, and the petty cash book. Now, for the essence of this video and for emphasis, we'll look based on these three. We'll forgo this one for now. We'll see this in detail in a particular video. Okay, so but for this video, we're going to look at the single column, the double column, and the three column cash book. Okay, now let's see the first one, which is a single column cash book. Single column cash book. Now, the single column cash book is a type of cash book in which we record that has a single column for either cash or bank. Okay, now most time we make the cash book contains item or transaction that involves physical cash directly with the retailer or transaction that goes through the bank. So the single column cash book is a cash book that have a column for cash, a single column for cash or for bank, not and for bank. It is either it is for cash or for bank. Okay, so the single column cash book is a cash book that has a one column, a single column from the word single, that has one column for cash or for bank. Okay, so any transaction that involves cash, or that involves only cash, that is given a question, goes through the single cash book, single column cash book, or that involves only bank, okay, goes through the single column cash book. So this is a cash book that involves that have a column for only cash or bank. Now let's see how it looks like. Let's see the specimen. Let's see the format of the single column cash book. So if we have the format of a single column cash book. Now, the format of a single column cash book is like this, whereby we have two sides. The left, we'll call it the debit, the right, we'll call it the credit. Okay, now we'll have a column for date. We have a column for the particulars. We have a column for called the folio. And like we said, this can either be cash or bank. Now this is the middle. Can double it so that we'll identify that it's the middle. Then this is the right hand side, which is the credit also. Now there's a column for date. There's a column for particulars. There's a column for folio. And this is a column for cash. Okay, so this is a typical example of a single column cash book. Okay, now we'll call this the debit side, and we'll call this a credit. Okay, now you record at the debit side item that is received, cash that is received into the business, and you record at the credit side cash that goes out from the business. Okay, like we said from the definition, single column cash book is that cash book that records, that has a single column for either cash or bank. Okay, so you have a column for date. Now the date signify the actual day, month, and year a particular transaction takes place. Okay, so the date is very important, while the particulars show the details of the transaction, either the name of the account you're paying or receiving from. Okay, it is shown in the particular, while the folio, like we have said in our previous video, is a section that shows where the double entry is completed. For instance, if we make a transaction and record it here, it is showing that when you go to the ledger, instead of just looking for an item randomly that will take time, that folio helps to check that item very fast. It shows the title where the title in the general ledger where you can find that transaction, and the folio number, okay, and the ledger number, so it is easier to get it. Okay, why this column is where you record the cash or the bank, like we said. So this side is when you received, and yes, what you would pay out. Okay, so we're going to see on a separate video the single column, see an example, but for this video is to give an introduction aspect of this cash book. Okay, so this is a single column cash book. Okay, so the next one is the double column cash book. The next one is the double column cash book. Now, the double column cash book is the cash book that have two columns for both the cash and the bank. Now, the first one we said it is cash or, so it means one can appear, not both of them appearing. But in terms of the double column cash book, it has a column for both the cash and the bank. So in this situation now, it is saying that there are transactions that both of them can happen together simultaneously. So that is why it is there. Okay, so the double column cash book is a cash book where you have column for both the cash and the bank. For instance, if we have, like we said, our format, And for instance, if this is my date, this is particulars. Again, this is my date, this is particulars, this is folio. So if this is the date, this is particulars, this is folio, this is cash, and this is bank. This is date, this is particulars, this is cash, this is folio, this is cash, and this is bank. Okay, so you see in that aspect where we have double column for both the cash and the bank, we call that the double column, or the 2-column cash book. Okay, so in this aspect now, like we said in the previous it still remains the same. There's a date that shows the day at which a transaction was taken, the particulars, the folio, the cash, and the bank. Now listen, you record in the bank any transaction that involves check. Okay, any transaction that involves check, either you receive a check or you pay by check, it should be at the bank. It should be recorded in the bank column. Take note. Okay, so whenever they say, okay, you sold to a customer and they pay you check, that payment by check will recorded in the bank column. Or if it's physical cash, it will be recorded in the cash column. The same way, if you also make payment or you make an expenses and you credit it, if you make it through check, it will be recorded in the bank. Or if it is physical cash, it will be recorded in a cash column. Okay, now in this situation, in this double column, there's what we call contra entry. Okay, now on a normalcy, the cash book follows suit the double entry principle, in the sense that whatever transactions that is posted here will have a corresponding entry in their ledgers, in their respective ledgers. Okay, so most times the contra entry involves a situation whereby a transaction that involves both the cash and bank is effected in this cash book. Okay, so there is no need of preparing another accounting entry that have a bank, because both of them are seen here. For instance, an example of a situation whereby a contra entry might exist if they said receive, or if they said paid cash 500 to bank. Now they're saying the owner of this now paid cash 500 naira to bank, the owner of this business. Now, what does it mean? They are paying cash to bank. So in this situation now, it means if they are paying cash, so it means at the credit side, they will have to write the date of the transaction and write bank there, because that's the account that it is going to. Now, on the cash column, that is where this money will be recorded. 500. Okay, that is where it will be recorded as as 500, because the cash is going out. They say paid cash 500. Now they say to bank, so bank is receiving it, and they are the owner of the bank also. So it will still come inside it. So there is no need of opening a bank account, a ledger account that have a bank account separate. Why? It's a double column cash book that involves both the cash and the bank, and it is owned by the owners. Okay, they have both the cash and also the bank. So once you record cash, indicating that the physical cash is reducing, that is what it shows here when it has a credit entry. So it comes to the bank here, the same date of transaction. The particulars will not be cash now under the bank column 500. Remember, I said debit is for receiving, while the credit is for giving out. So it means the bank account has increased by this. So when this happens, you just indicate in the folio C, indicating the contra entry. Okay, so there is no need of preparing another bank account. This is a double column cash book. Okay, so we have situations like that when they withdraw cash from bank for office use. The same way, withdraw cash from bank. For instance, if they said withdraw cash from bank for office use. Okay, so in this situation now, it's still the same thing. It says withdraw cash from bank for office use. So it means that the bank now is going out. The money from the bank is going out. They say withdraw cash from bank for office use. Now, please take note. If it is for office use, then it involves contract entry like what we've done. But if it's for personal use, it is no longer. I want to say withdraw cash for personal use. It is drawings. It is different. When we go into details of the double column cash book, I will explain that in details. Okay, so that is why you need to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss out on what we are going to do in this channel. Okay, so they said withdraw cash from bank for office use. For office use, now it is still the business using it, not outside the business. So when they say withdraw cash from bank for office use, so it will not be cash here, but in the bank column, the particular amount. Then the corresponding entry also comes here because cash will be receiving that amount from who? From bank. Okay, so that is that. While we are treating this in detail, we'll do that. Okay, so that is the double column cash book. Okay, now the third aspect is the 3-column cash book. The 3-column cash book. And the 3-column cash book is the cash book that have columns for the cash, the bank, and the discount. The 3-column cash book is the cash book that have columns for the cash, the bank, and what? The discount. Okay, so most time, in order to ensure that customers pay promptly, they pay on time, they are giving what? Discount. Okay, they are giving what? Discount for deductions on the amount they are expected to pay. And in the same way you give customer discount, that is the same way you also receive discount from the supplier. So the cash book that covers both the bank, the cash, and the discount inclusive is the 3-column cash book. So most time you might be tested. They might give you a question and ask you to prepare the cash book. You should use your initiative to know that a question that have a discount involved in it, you should prepare the 3-column cash book to accommodate that discount. Okay, now let's prepare the format. Let's see the format, for instance. So if we have the format of the 3-column cash book. The format for the 3-column cash book. So we have date, we have particulars, we have folio, we have cash, bank. Watch how we do this. This is date, this particulars, folio, cash. Okay, so this is date, this is particulars, this is folio, this is cash, this is bank. They will call date discount allowed. This date at the credit, these particulars, this is cash, this is bank. Sorry. This is supposed to be folio. This is cash. This is bank. This is discount receive. So if you notice the difference between these 3 types of cash book we've seen, the single column, the double, and the 3-column cash book, where the name signifies are the 3 aspects. These other parts are the same. The dates, the particulars, folio, they are the same with all of them. But what made them differ is the the one for the cash only, the one for cash and bank, and the one that involves the cash, the bank, and the discount. Okay, so this is the format for the 3-column cash book that have the date, particulars, folio, cash, bank. Now for the debit side, it is discount allowed. Now, the discount allowed is an expenses. Now, it is on the debit side because you are receiving from your customer. Remember, I said we record what we receive at the debit side. So the discount allowed is at the debit side because you sell to customers on credit and you might grant them discount. So once you grant them discount, you are allowing them to pay a deduction on the amount they are expected to pay. So you are supposed to also record that amount here. So the discount allowed is always at the debit side, is the one at the debit side in what? In the cash book. Take note. Okay. While also on the credit side, we have date, particulars, folio, cash, bank, and you have the discount receive. The discount receive is at the credit side because you are paying to your supplier. As you are paying to them, they also give you discount. So you received it. So it's an income to you. Okay. That is why in the profit or loss account, though we have seen that, ensure you check in our channel, you will see that discount received is at the income, posted at the credit side. But discount allowed is an expenses because it's a deduction on the amount you are expected to take. For instance, if they said you sold goods for cash, let's say 10,000, and you gave 10% discount. 10% discount. Okay, so it means that if you are writing now sales, because it is sales, you receive the money, cash 10,000, then the discount you allow 10% discount, that is 10% on 10,000 will give you 1,000. So you record a discount there, that's discount allowed because you're receiving the money. Okay, so the discount allowed is treated as an expense while the discount received is what? An income. So this is the format of the 3-column cash book. Like we said, the petty cash book, we're going to see that in a separate video because we have different strategy altogether from this. Okay, so we're going to see a video on the single column, double column, and a 3-column. An example. This one now is involving what? An example, practical examples that covers a single column, the double column, and the 3-column cash book. Okay, and how to post to the ledger. Okay, so thank you very much. Please ensure you like. Tell me where you're watching me from. Okay, and we are on other social media platform. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on TikTok, we're on YouTube. The same name, The King's Tutor. Okay, please ensure you like this video, you comment at this video, and please share. Ensure you subscribe. Thank you very much.